Buckle up, folks. This is gonna be a long one. Hey guys, it's Katya. I know I look extra right now. I'm going to a concert after this, but I'm a dedicated YouTuber, so I thought I'd film a video first. You're welcome. Today I bring you part 3 of my bullying series, Junior Year, the most confusing, longest, craziest part of them all. I'll try to do my best to explain what happened, but like I still don't know, so if you're confused, there's a part 1 and part 2 to this story, so I'll leave a link in the description and you can check those out before. But if you know exactly what's going on, I'll give you a little reminder. Last time in the Psycho Chronicles, Medusa told a lie that made me and Sally not be friends anymore. On this part, she calls the police on me and I start dating her ex-boyfriend. Keep watching. So junior year, best year of my life, no thanks to Psycho. I think I have some kind of medical condition that makes me forgive assholes who don't deserve to be forgiven. It's summer! What happens in the summer, you may ask? Katya becomes stupid and forgives her bully! But at least this time I'm like, I'm gonna forgive you even though you didn't apologize again. But we're not friends, we're cool. I'm not your friend though. So her and Derek are still dating at this point. Everyone hates the relationship. Everyone, because she's telling him he can't be friends with certain people and those certain people get a little mad. So for me, the beginning of junior year was just dreading to go to choir class because I know I'd see her. So if you remember last time when I talked about her fake mental disorders, this year is the year of fake anxiety and fake cancer. So the first few months of junior year is her running out of class every day faking a panic attack. There was not one class where she was there for the entirety of. She'd either run to the bathroom crying, run to the office crying, just everywhere crying. It got to the point where the teacher wouldn't even flinch when she ran out of her room because everyone was used to it. Everyone. So fast forward to November. We're in Glee Club. She is no longer in Glee Club because she has a conflict. I'm still in Glee Club. Glee Club is my safe haven because it's the one music related thing that she is not in. So one day we had our Glee Club dress rehearsal before our concert. This dress rehearsal was after school from 3:30 to 5. I'm gonna say that one more time. 3:30 to 5. Please keep this in mind. Our teachers wanted to record it so we could watch ourselves back, and in the corner it had a little timestamp. What did the timestamp say? 3:30 to 5. I was on stage dancing from 3:30 to 5. So after the rehearsal, I go home. It takes me about an hour to get home. When I get home, I receive a text from Medusa. This is weird because I hadn't texted her since before the whole Medusa and Sally thing happened. So the text says, just so you know, I filed a police report against you. I'm just staring at my phone like, am I surprised? Did I see this coming? So naturally, I reply, what do you mean? She proceeds to tell me that after school at 3:30, after school at 3:30, she went to the mall and she got out of her car to go get something to eat. And while she was getting out of her car, she saw my group of friends also get out of their car across the parking lot. She went to go eat, and when she came back, there was a scratch on her window. So naturally, she called her parents and said, Katya's friends keyed my car. I'm gonna give you a second. I think I need a second because I'm already getting angry. Okay, time to yell. First of all, at 3:30, you got there at 3:30, which means you probably got back to your car at 4 or 4:30. Where was I? At 3:30 to 5, guys? Where was I? Second of all, you'd see my friends at the mall and automatically assume that they keyed your car? If someone's keying your car, why would they scratch your window? Wouldn't they key your actual car, like your door or something? Who goes up to a car and leaves a scratch on the window? Third of all, you're telling me your dad knows who my friend group is, knows my first and last name to put my name in a police report? You're telling me you didn't tell him my name because it's not like you hate me for no reason or anything. To this day, I believe that she scratched the car somehow and she was too scared to tell her parents, so that means I keyed her car. You know, I'm too scared to tell my parents I got a scratch on my car, so like file a police report. Anyways, I calmly told her where I was at 3:30 to 5. And then I told her my friends don't care about you enough to key your car. They have no reason to key your car. If I don't hate you at this point, why would my friends hate you? Also, my friends said they wouldn't key a car for me. So obviously I'm like, well, I've told you where I was. Change the report and take my name out. She doesn't answer me. That night, I get calls from all my friends screaming that she's a psychopath, that her parents called their parents, and their parents went off on them, saying they don't even know what her car looks like and they didn't see her until they were leaving. So the next day I get to school and I walk in the choir room and everyone's looking at me like I'm a vandal. The second I walked through the door, at least 4 people came up to me and was like, did you do it? Did you really do it? Like, kind of excited because I deserve to do it, but kind of like, oh my god, you're crazy. So to half of them, I'm like, you were literally dancing on stage with me. Do you not remember our dress rehearsal? And they're like, oh yeah, right. And then the other half who aren't in glee, I'm like, you're stupid, she's a psychopath. Of course I didn't key her car. And then I'm like, wait, how do you know? Has she already told the entire school? Then they pull up her Instagram post, which is a selfie of her in front of her scratched window, and it says something like, bitch is gonna pay. Bitch is gonna get what's coming to them. They're going down. And when they DM'd her asking what happened to her car, she told them, me, Katyaawar, how are you doing? I, alone, keyed her car. So I take a seat in the choir room now that everyone believes me, and she walks in, looks at me, and runs out crying. My teacher notices because she doesn't usually run out crying before class starts. You know, it's like an in-class thing. So she's like, someone go ask what's wrong. And they do, and they come back and says, the sight of me triggered the vision of me keying her car, and she could not handle it. So my teacher doesn't think I'm a psychopath. I go explain to her everything that's wrong with Medusa. Just everything, from her fake illnesses to her lies and whatever. And by the end, the teacher believes me too, so we're good. Anyways, after that happened, a couple weeks later, we had to sing the national anthem at this football game. And in the national anthem, there's this one really high note that if you get it, you're like kinda, you know. A lot of people want that note. So my teacher gives it to me, and I think you can see how that makes Medusa feel. So right before the national anthem performance, I go out to eat with my friend, and I'm driving, and I end up getting into a really bad car accident. Like, car totaled, everything. The literal sleeve of my choir jacket has a huge hole burnt in it from like all the smoke. So with my burnt jacket and tears running down my face, all I can think of is, she is not singing that note. So literally, like 30 minutes after this happened, I go back to school. I'm like really shaken up because it's my first car accident ever, and I spun out on the other side of the road and my car got totaled. Like, not a good day. Not a good day. You might be thinking at this point, Katya, this is the best year of your life? Yeah. So I get to school and no one's there yet, but I had told my friend that I just got in an accident, so in case I wasn't at the performance, to tell my teacher. So he told her just in case, so she knew what happened, but she's the only one who knew. And she was the only one in the choir room, so like, she's hugging me, she's like, oh my god, what happened, whatever. I'm like tearing up telling her because it was like 30 minutes ago. But I am not a drama queen. I hate crying in front of people. I hate like drawing attention to myself. So when everyone starts coming in, I'm like wiping my tears and they're like, oh, what happened? I was like, nothing is fine. I just almost died. So I get myself together, but my eyes are obviously red. My mascara is down my face. Like, I'm crying. And Medusa walks in and she sees me. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess what she did? She runs out crying. She tells everyone that seeing me again brings memories of me keying her car, and she can't handle it. And every time she sees me, she has a panic attack because I scare her so much. I'm like, I literally almost died today and you're the one crying. Okay. So we sing, I hit the high note. Everything's good. So now there's a rumor every week about me. The feud's at an all-time high on her side. She breaks up with Derek, which makes it worse now because all the anger and manipulation she was doing to him is now on me as well. Now it's time for the musical. Oh, the musical. Medusa is about 1000% convinced that she's gonna get this lead role. All her friends are telling her, no one else can get it, it's all you, like this is your year. So we get to callbacks and me and this other girl are called back for the lead and they say everyone else can go. And when Medusa finds out that she doesn't even have a chance for the lead, she runs out crying. But this time, she runs out crying all the way to the choir office and threatens to hurt herself because she didn't get a callback for the lead in a high school musical. One of her friends hears the threat, calls the police, and they take her to a mental institution. No, I am not making this up. I wish I did. This is a great subject for a novel. Anyway, I end up getting the lead in this musical. That pisses her off. She ends up getting released after 3 days after her psychiatric evaluation, which comes up as nothing because she's not actually crazy. An email from her parents are sent to the director threatening to sue the school because her daughter didn't get the lead role. She comes back to school and wears her hospital bracelet from the mental institution for 2 weeks after she's released to like tell everyone she's been in a mental hospital. Like that is an accomplishment. But anyways, rehearsals start. Through the musical, one of my love interests is Derek's best friend. Me and him start talking a lot. So we start kind of seeing each other, kind of talking, and eventually he convinces me to manage their lacrosse team because they need a manager. And I was like, I need a sports credit, sure. So as I'm managing the lacrosse team, I actually get really close to Derek. Medusa's ex, Derek. Yes, that is the one. We basically bonded by telling each other stories of how Medusa harasses us. And then we start telling each other things that she said about each other. And I tell him that after they broke up, she told everyone that he was mentally and physically abusive and that he cheated on her with another girl. And this really gets to him because I thought he had heard this before. It was like around the school. Apparently he didn't. He like broke down. He's like, it's so sad, honestly, like what a rumor can do. That moment really bonded us because it was like a really deep talk. We basically became best friends. During rehearsals, Medusa is telling everyone I got the role because our directors are racist and I'm white. Which is really funny because I'm full Lebanese and she is half German, so she is whiter than me. Also, every other lead except one was Asian. So racist directors. What can I say? Because of this, she would show up at every rehearsal crying. She would ditch rehearsals altogether, which means she was left out of the group number, and then told everyone that she wasn't put in the group number because the directors hate her. Also, when she found out I was seeing Derek's best friend, she started dating this guy who was the ex of another girl she's jealous of, just so she had someone to talk to. But eventually, things didn't work out between me and Derek's best friend. We just weren't. We didn't have that much in common. Derek and I were getting closer though and started hanging out one-on-one. So eventually Derek makes a move and we start seeing each other secretly. One, because I didn't want to be the girl who moved on from the guy to the best friend. Not that it was like that, but definitely looks like that. Second of all, I did not want Medusa to find out. This went on for months. People did not know we were talking. It literally went through the show. Like after the show, we were still kind of seeing each other. So there was a cast party at this guy's house. So me and Derek are kind of sitting together, talking together throughout this party. Medusa notices and then decides that she wants to go after Derek's best friend, the one I was seeing, while she has a boyfriend. They end up cuddling that night, like talking all night. They've never talked to each other before. It's just, she has a boyfriend. So the next day, me and Derek are kind of warning his best friend, like, don't do it. She's crazy. You're going to regret this. He's like, no, she seems fine. I kind of just want her as a friend. And I'm like, all right, I warned you. So then I get a text from Medusa, which again is weird. Like, it's weird. I haven't texted her since the police report. And it says, I know you saw me and Derek's best friend talking, like, I just don't want to hurt you, whatever, but we're kind of talking like I like him. I was like, first of all, you have a boyfriend, but I'm not gonna say that. Second of all, I literally don't care. I tell her I really don't care. Like, me and this guy talked for like 2 weeks. Like, I don't care. She's messaging me, wanting to hurt me, making sure that if I didn't see them cuddling at the party, that I would know that they're talking. It's crazy. So then they're talking, me and Derek are talking, everything's fine. We had this musical group chat that we all texted in, and we started sending memes, and one of the memes was from Derek's best friend, and it was about me, and it was very rude. So I'm not gonna say what it was, but I end up getting mad at him. And the next day, I'm still the lacrosse manager, so I have to go on a bus, go to a game with Derek and his best friend after he made that mean meme about me. And he basically runs to me saying, I'm so sorry, like I'm such an idiot, I should have never sent that. And I'm kind of like, well, you're talking to Medusa, obviously some of it's gonna rub off on you. And then he says, also, you were right about Medusa, she's crazy, something's not right there, like, you're right. So I forgive him because I'm a nice person. And then when we get on the bus, I start asking like, oh, what made you think that she was crazy? And he's like, oh, just the hiking thing. Like, I'm really sorry about that. And I'm like, what hiking thing? Like, hiking? I don't hike. What do you mean? And he said, oh my god, did she lie about that too? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he shows me texts between him and Medusa. And the first one is her asking him if he'd want to go on a hike with her. And he says, yeah, sure, like that sounds fine. And then 10 minutes later, she sent him a huge paragraph saying, I just texted Katya asking if it was okay if I went on this hike with you. She said no, she still loves you. We had been talking for 2 weeks. I did barely even liked him. Like, love? And all these lies like that I forbid her to hang out with him. And then I scroll down and 10 minutes later, she goes, you know what? I'm not gonna let Katya control my life anymore. She's always controlled it. She's always bullied me. I'm gonna do what's right for me. I wanna go hiking with you. And at that point he says, that's when I got a little suspicious because didn't seem that deep to go on a hike. Obviously you didn't love me. Because if you did, you'd be psychotic. And I'm like, really? She really never asked me. Like, all she said was, I'm talking to you, and I said, I really don't care, so. And then when she found out that I had told Derek's best friend the truth, she told the entire school that me, Derek, and Derek's best friend had a threesome. So I was a school whore for a little while. Right after that was the choir trip, and on this choir trip, she tells everyone that I'm gonna be a virgin forever because no one wants to touch me. So which one am I? Am I a whore who had a threesome, or am I Virgin Mary who no one wants to touch? Like, you gotta pick one, sweetie. These lies aren't consistent. Also during this time, she still doesn't know I'm seeing Derek. She has a suspicion. Everyone has a little suspicion that we like each other, but no one thinks that we're like together. So now her and I are on I hate you terms. Like, I hate you. You are the worst human alive. You're a psychopath. Like, you called the police on me. So to sum things up, a few months later, me and Derek come out as a couple, which in senior year causes her to make the most dangerous, craziest rumor about me yet, which gets her in trouble finally. So if you want to see how she destroyed my reputation senior year with everyone and the teachers, which finally led her to being caught, stay tuned. So that's it for part 3. If you made it this far, wow, you are dedicated. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the last final part of my bullying series. What a wild ride it's been. See you in the next one. Bye. Jesus Christ.